You understand what I'm saying? Hate me all you want to, baby. I don't mind hating me. Hate all you can. Let me go the other way. Hate all you can. Hate everything. But I'm gonna still make you look good. Black men winning. Okay? Come on, somebody type that in the chat room. Black men winning. Okay? Because that's just what's happening. We are winning.
We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. Yeah. We winning. We winning. I know they hating out here. Yeah. I know they mad. They all in their feelings. But baby, I don't care. She calling the police on me and everything. Yeah. Somebody needs to get on the phone, call my attorney. Dealing with these hard-headed hoes who ain't learning. Acting all ignorant like a motherfucking menace. She better bundle up, cause bitches about to be winner. Niggas acting timid, why you think she treat a nigga so bad? Turn her only fucking son into a killer. Can't even distinguish who the women, who the bitches. She broke my nigga, even Jesus can't fix it. Navajo nigga, got a man up in prison. But quick to tell you, get your bag up, bitch, quit it. Ever heard of Dennis? Yes, sir. Get you spurting, we in court early. Don't be acting all girly. Keep that same energy. Don't need any men. You the man, you the father, you the face of many men. Yeah, many Rippleton, taking L's your whole life. While the passport bros taking off the next flight. Some thick, some feminine. Rubbing on my shoulders, be a cold day in hell. Blizzard King try to tell you. A new world is coming, bitch. You better stop sinning. See, God took Kevin, left your sorry ass with Dennis.
Somebody type of old broad in the chat room. Talking about men, you can't find them. That just means you had your chance, boo. You had your chance. And your chance has passed you by. Your husband done went on to the great beyond. He's not there looking for you no more. You done hit one wall. Somebody type one wall in the chat room. You done hit two walls. Somebody say 3 walls. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh man. Shout out to Uncle D for that one in Big Bad's life. Salute to him for that. What's up, Broken Blade? How are you doing, sir?
What's up, man? I'm good.
That mess makes me laugh every single time. What's up, Hootsy? What's up? Missed you too, bro. I actually was about to dial you the other day and realized how late it was. And I was like, damn, that fool's on the East Coast. I better not.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hootsy. Hey, yeah, and that Hootsy, you know what I'm saying? That project I was telling you about, that bag is right there. It's right there. We did it. Pre-sale start on Friday. Anyways, so what's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm good. Man, I kind of mentally crashed a little earlier today.
Yeah.
Not that big a deal, but I shot I wrote out a script to go in on the Asian community. Thought I had it wrapped up. Like early today, like a lot of videos are popping up in my feed that has some very useful information. That took me down a rabbit hole, like reworking the script, trying to add in all these other things. Jump around some other projects. I showed you some of that. Just like a couple hours ago, I'm like, dude, fuck, man. Need to just turn everything off for a minute.
Been there, done that.
Memes or some shit just for an hour or two.
Been there, done that for sure. Did you kind of had to kind of hit the reset button a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I was I had a similar situation, man. Bro, Hootsy, man. Thank you so much, bro. Salute to Hootsy, man. My man. Like I said, bro, I got so many, we got a lot of catching up to do, my friend. I got to talk to you, but shout out to Hootsy. Thank you. It was on repeat. There we go. I don't mind hitting you with 2 of them though, anyways. So Broken Blade. Okay, before we start smoking on this Charlie pack, I probably shouldn't have said that, but everybody else is eating off of his name, so why the hell shouldn't we? You know what I'm saying? Before we get into that, I think we need to address this. Delta State University in Mississippi. Another young man found hanging from a tree. And in today's climate, and all of this virtue signaling happening, all this pearl clutching happening, when something truly despicable or also despicable happens, well, crickets. Now, we remember the energy, right? We remember the energy from when, like a man, hole punched that young immigrant lady on the bus, and everybody was just indignant. And maybe it's because you could see it, we get it, right? The crimes that are committed, that George Floyd is because we watched it, right? But you would think that something is old school, like the definition of racist. You would think that would kind of jump the line and go to the top of despicable behaviors. But it hasn't, though. Like it hasn't. It really puts things in perspective for me. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it really puts things in perspective. And I noticed a couple of other things. Because I wanted to make sure that I was I wanted to make sure that I was accurate when I described these things, when I started talking about these things. I wanted to make sure that I had all the information that I needed. And while I was doing research, I started well, kind of I'm kind of taking us back to the beginning. Shout out to Mr. 43TX. Well, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to all you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Because this kind of goes to show you how just the double standard couldn't be more clear. Okay. Now, black man found hanging from a tree, 20 years old, first year of college. Freshman year of college. You have a loving family. The phone rings. It's the police. Not the college, it's the police. And they say, your son was found deceased in his bed. And you say, deceased in his bed? What do you mean? But they don't want to give you any details. So you're trying to get some details, trying to figure out what's going on. And then you hear on the news, young man found hanging from a tree on the college campus. And you're like, wait a minute. Young man found in a tree, same college my son. And you put two and two together and you realize that the police lied to you. That your son wasn't found deceased in his bed, but hanging from a tree. But then they rush through everything, right? Don't give you any information. Still haven't gotten a phone call from the college yet. Not from the college yet. And everyone is quick to say, and they include it in the titles of all of the media that they're putting out.
No foul play suspected.
No foul play suspected. Huh. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? No foul play suspected. And you know, and they don't have any information, right? They can find the guy that popped Charlie Kirk, like they got him from walking from here to there and here to there to here to there. But there's no video of any of this. They don't have any information. No foul play. Well, no foul play, right? So if I'm thinking no foul play, then what they're telling me is that he crawled up in that tree, put a rope around his neck, and he jumped off of there and did it to himself, right? So there's likely no other injuries, right? So even with what the cops say, let's look at the AP. Let's see. Mississippi wants, can I make this bigger? Sorry, guys, I apologize. Make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Mississippi police, they awaited autopsy results from a black student found hanging from a tree in Delta State University. And the case has ignited strong emotions in a state with a history of racist violence. Ain't that something? Ain't that the truth? 21-year-old was found near the campus pickleball courts early on Monday. The police have said they saw no evidence of foul play. His family is demanding answers and has hired a prominent civil rights attorney, Ben Crump. That's a conversation for another day. Out of the respect for those grieving, we ask you continue patience and compassion as the investigation proceeds. Peeler told reporters at the Delta State campus. Now, by this time, the college still hadn't called the parents. Chief State. You know what really comes into mind when I hear this? Just systemic. Let's just put that let's write systemic on a sticky note and just put that up somewhere so we can come back to it. Systemic. You want to put that word, we're going to come back to that word. Chief State Medical Examiner was conducting an autopsy on Wednesday, and Peeler said preliminary findings should be released in a day or two. Peeler said that the evidence includes video footage, but would not say what it shows and where it came from, citing the ongoing investigation. Now, if they hadn't...
The Charlie Kirk video dropped damn near immediately.
Almost immediately. Interesting.
Very.
Now, I'm trying to figure out how you can write in the title of the news article that there was no foul play involved when you still hadn't done an autopsy. I digress. Crump said in a statement on Wednesday that the police should allow the student's family to view any video the police have gathered. He also has plans to lead an investigation alongside civil rights groups that would include an independent autopsy. Yeah, you should absolutely do that. Family members also pressed for more information from the university officials during news conference on Tuesday. Vanessa Jones, another attorney from the family, said that the student had just started classes at Delta State this fall and was full of life, eager to be there. There should have been cameras at the university that could easily enlighten us to what could have happened. Jones told reporters, adding, from the moment he left his dorm room or entered that campus, there should be surveillance of all of his actions. No foul play. They seemed confident that there's no foul play. Online rumors that the student was found with broken limbs were disputed by Bolivar County Coroner Ralph Seals Jr. Remember what I said about systemic? In a statement cited by local news outlets Tuesday, Seals said his office conducted a preliminary examination and concluded that the student did not suffer any lacerations, contusions, compound fractures, broken bones, or injuries consistent with assault. Seals did not immediately return phone messages from the Associated Press. We recognize this is not only about facts. Delta State President Dan Ennis said Wednesday it is about emotions and feelings and the way this loss and how it was discovered affects people's lives, except for, the guy that, I don't know, deceased, but whatever, because forget that guy. Many social media posts about the case have invoked a darker period in U.S. history when killings of black people by white vigilantes inflicted racial terror in Mississippi and other parts of the Deep South. They include the infamous lynching of Emmett Till, whose body was found 30 miles from the Delta State campus. I don't know. It feels like maybe, that's just kind of the kind of thing that happens there in good old Mississippi. I could be wrong. Let's see. You know about a leaked audio recording of the sheriff's station, Oklahoma, found in literal pieces? No. See, we can you hear about this? Yeah, I hadn't. They don't treat us quite the same when it comes to us.
And here's what I read, one quote in my head from this corner. That the student, scroll back up.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, concluded the student did not suffer any lacerations, contusion, compact fractures, broken bones, or injuries. Consistent with assault.
Consistent with assault.
Yeah.
We're getting good at this, bro. Start reading between the lines. You know what I'm saying? Start reading like, wait a minute. That's an interesting thing to put at the end of that, right? Like that's a Kash Patel. He was talking about how he's like, we don't have any record of any blah, 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 blah. But it's like, yeah, you don't have any record. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. Didn't mean that it wasn't there. Just you don't have it. Got it. Okay, cool. So I think that
like any Indian conservative try to talk shit about like sneak distance black people, go fuck your mother.
Kinda. Yeah.
The video's dropping soon.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Y'all some deplorable sons of bitches.
Isn't it crazy? It's pretty despicable, really. Like it just to like the hypocrisy is crazy. Bro, I'm telling you, I was, because I be speed listening and Tim Pool, because when they get real comfortable and they forget that this is a room full of white folks sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like they forget and they just kind of go into their flow state and they just start doing what the white people do. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I think that they forget that the camera's on or that, there's potentially, I don't know, intelligent black people listening to them. And I gotta find it. I haven't been able to find it. Perfectly described racism. I mean, the best description of racism I have ever heard. But he was basically talking about how the left treats the right. And I was like, yo, that's crazy that this dude accurately described. I mean, bro, when I say textbook, the best description of racism I've ever heard came from Tim Pool's mouth. And he was talking about liberals. It was interesting. And conservatives. It was interesting. Well, let's see. I think there might be. Okay, so the coroner's still sticking with there is no broken bones and such. I have a strong because they've done that before. They've played keep away with the body. And so I imagine they thought that they were going to be able to get rid of the body before the family was able to get doctors or someone onto it. Updates from the university at press conference on Wednesday. Let's see. The loss was devastating. And now, like I said, there could be more information, but from what I know, even as of right now, the school still hasn't reached out to the family. And it's reiterated the coroner's early conclusions but said he recognized that the psychological impact of Reed's death is not only about the facts, and it said it's about the emotions and feelings. Bro, what is this? Feelings and emotions? Feelings and emotions? Feelings and emotions. No, how about we discuss the dead body hanging from a tree? How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? Can we talk about that? And not about necessarily like, so how could you tell me that every other student on the campus is safe if you haven't locked up the person that did it? How can you say that it's safe to come outside? How can you say that you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you can't. So Ennis, who is white, acknowledged his weakness is not being adequate to speak to the imagery that the incident raises. Delta State serves 2,800 students, roughly 40% of whom are black. Ain't that something? Only 40% are black at a historically black, whatever. Ennis said that the campus had been receiving threatening phone calls and messages since Reed's death. I can say that my heartbreak is comprehensive, not just for Trey, although primarily for Trey, but the fact that the rest of the world has an impression of Delta State, so that is so at odds with what we know to be this institution, which is the joy and grace of people living and working together and respecting each other. I can say my
Sure, nigga died, but this makes us look bad.
Thank you, bro. Okay. I was wondering if I was being overly sensitive. I was wondering if I was being overly sensitive. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Broken Blade, for your response. Okay. How can people not see? Right? Like,
willful blindness.
Wow. Mike Peeler, Delta State University chief of police, told the press that the Reed's body was transported to the Mississippi State Examiner's office for full autopsy on Wednesday morning. Authorities expect preliminary autopsy within 24 to 48 hours. He said DSU Police, the Cleveland Police Department, and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation and Bolivar County sheriffs plan to update the public on the findings after first meet with Reed's next of kin. You know, they're from the South. He told reporters the law enforcement officials were reviewing relevant video, but he couldn't offer any more details. Peeler also said that he had no information about Reed's family being told the death took place in his dorm room. That's funny. He emphasized during the press conference that this is an isolated incident and there are currently no active threats to the campus, which remains safe environment for students, faculty, and staff. How do you know, though? You see what I'm like?
Yeah.
What do you mean? How do you know? Like, unless the person that did it is in cuffs, how can you ensure the safety of anybody else on that campus? Brother. Nonetheless, because time goes on, because we're not still talking about Charlie Kirk. Nonetheless, the Grizzly incident has frightened black students on campus. I wonder why. Hearing that happen to another black student, it really makes me feel unsafe, says Delta student Stacy Hoskins. I can imagine. The nature of Reed's death has had an emotional impact on black students and other students on other campuses as well. Some treated it as a foregone conclusion that Reed was, deleted and issued statements that Reed was killed and issued a statement of support. So even the students are like, yeah, he probably didn't hang himself up in that tree. Fascinating. Black Student Union, Illinois State University directed students. What's that?
Read between the lines.
The
nature of Reed's death has had an emotional impact on the black students. Like, is that just a statement of fact, or is that That's progress report.
You know when you like you go out to dinner, you go on a date, you know what I'm saying, and the bill comes, you know what I'm saying, and your date kind of like reaches for her purse, but not really. You know what I'm saying? It's like a gesture. It's like making note of a thing, but not really caring about the actual thing.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway. Once again, you know, it's just never equal. It just never feels the same, you know? It always seems like it's this is the way that these kinds of things gets treated are completely different than how these other things get treated. And I think having this Charlie Kirk thing happen like on a college campus, and like, you know, it's like it's been really easy to be able to put these things side by side, and you know, it's been easy to compare and contrast, you know, the language being used, the speed at which the whole thing goes, you know, who's in front of the camera speaking, who's not, how the family's treated, you know, everybody's like, what's his face's wife's name? Don't worry about it. So Kirk's wife and his kids, you know, it's like, oh my God, this beautiful family and these beautiful kids, and they've got oh my God, you should feel so bad, and like, so, you know, I don't know, old school America, assassinating people is one thing, but you know, hanging people from a tree, that's about as American as apple pie. It really is. It really is. Like, that is a uniquely American way to murder somebody. You're making a political statement of such. It is a form of errorism, and if you know what I mean with the T, right? Anyway, I wanted to just put that in the ether before I got into this other stuff. I think, man, we need to you guys stay vigilant. If you don't have a, you know, one of them things, you know, you need to go on ahead and save up a couple of dollars and get you some training and go get yourself one of them things. Okay. Because, you know, one of the things that always stuck with me is that the slaves that were able to have one of them things were the ones that didn't get lynched. Those were the ones that got away. Okay. Those are the ones that got away. The ones that didn't get lynched, the ones that had them things on them, those are the ones that kept themselves from hanging. Strange fruit. Look it up. Strange fruit. For those of you that are new to the channel, Google strange fruit. Yeah. So that's that. What do you think, Broken Blade? Thoughts before we, you know, switch it up?
As I said multiple times, to choose, you even have to consider whether or not you will express sympathy for a loss of a human life because they don't look like you or don't fit your narrative makes you a sociopath. And this is a new breed of black man and black woman. People are collecting historical receipts, and there might be consequences for said actions. For example, I have not watched the video yet. Apparently, there's another strange fruit found in Mississippi, I believe Mississippi. But the skin on this particular fruit was lighter.
I saw that. I didn't get a chance to get into the details, so I didn't I didn't mention it yet. I saw what you're talking about. Go ahead. Sorry.
Again, I'm not trying to celebrate death, but like, what the fuck? How many centuries? We're poking the bear and fucking with him and fucking with him and fucking with him.
Broken Blade, look, what did I say? I said I'm kind of shocked that more random black folks don't just lash out more often. But here's the thing. See, like, we're genuinely very nice people. We're very forgiving people. You know, as a shout out to Uncle D, Mr. Sperling, he says we're too nice even. But see, what happens is when we finally pop, though, when we finally crack, when we finally, you know, when the anxiety can't go anywhere else, we lash out, you know, and those of us that didn't have fathers, those of us that aren't very well adjusted, those that don't know what to do with our emotions, we are going to lash out. Bro, this is an inevitability. I'm shocked that it doesn't happen more often. I really am. Like the torment that we have to deal with on a regular basis. Torment, torture. And the way that and the crazy part about this is that, again, all of this stuff that's been happening over the last like 5 or 6 months is giving me such an amazing opportunity to see, you know, all this like immigrant stuff and all this, and hearing people like describe empathy and having sympathy all of a sudden. And I'm like, this is freaking fascinating.
Yeah.
All of these feelings that all of these people have that we've been talking about, all these things that we've been talking about, suddenly now when it's pointed directly at you, when the rabbits got the, you know, suddenly now it's different.
Case in point. There was a white male in the Wood area where people who lived there are homeless and on drugs. Warren County Coroner Doug L. Husky told the Mississippi Free Press, it is Mississippi, same state.
Mm-hmm.
Husky said that he couldn't speculate about the cause of death, including foul play, whether foul play was involved or whether the Candace died by suicide or self-deletion. We don't ever say self-deletion or anything until the autopsy is over with. Investigation.
Broken Blade. Wait a minute. Hold on. So are you telling me in the story of the other person that got hung from a tree in Mississippi, in the same week, maybe even the same day as this gentleman that we were just talking about, are you saying that the person that was doing the reporting, or was that the police chief you said?
Chief coroner.
The chief coroner.
No, county coroner. Yeah.
County coroner says that they don't suspect any foul play, but they don't make any decisions until the autopsy is done. Do you think that that's a local policy, or do you think maybe something else is going on? What are your thoughts? I mean, if you had to guess, if you had to speculate.
We know what it is.
Fascinating.
It's
fascinating.
Too many times, man.
It's not even fun anymore. Like it's like, yo, we don't even have to be that, you know? Let me guess. He crawled up that tree and hung himself. Let me guess. No foul play. Let me guess. There's no video. No, the camera didn't work.
Yes, post-autopsy, he called it now. He had high concentrations of fentanyl in the system.
Of course it had to be fentanyl. Of course it had to be fentanyl. At least it wasn't crack. At least it wasn't crack cocaine. There you go. At least it wasn't crack cocaine. bro. Is it the double standard is crazy? And then you want me to and they want me to cry for this guy. That's crazy, bro. That is so crazy. Unbelievable. I mean, anyways. Wow. I was going to wait and do some research before I brought it up, but this is so crazy. Again, just on quick, you could just look right now and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we don't make those decisions. Let's wait till the autopsy, blah, 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 blah. Well, wait a minute. Well, like, some thing happened and you're like, oh, well, no foul play, no foul play, no foul play, no foul play, no broken bones, no lacerations, no foul play, no foul play, no foul play here. Nope.
And as always, never, ever, 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 ever believe your lying eyes.
Yeah. I don't.
He was found in his dorm. Damn it.
Yeah. In his dorm. Sleep. He just didn't get up. That's all. So, what's Jerome say? Jerome says, "Are we aware of who doing?" Hey, man, look. If you had any questions before, if you had any questions as to whether or not you were being told the truth about a lot of things, now you know. Move accordingly. Now you know. Move accordingly. Okay? So, Max Blumenthal, he is a journalist for the Gray Zone, rattled the internet. I think they're trying to squash this story. Our girl, Candace Owens, she is on a tear, boy. Ooh, boy. Her hubby has connects kind of in the higher epsilon. So for a minute, I don't know that she's touchable right now. So she's pushing the line, but Jesus Christ.
What was that?
A car drove by through the alley.
Okay.
I couldn't tell it sounded almost like it might've been a motorcycle though. So usually I'm pretty good about being able to tell engines and what X, Y, and Z is, but that was kind of strange. Sounded weird. Because it's the people not to be spoken of are involved.
Yeah.
And there's some funny business going on, bro. So systemic, right? So we've just uncovered how similar situations, someone can just decide to handle it a different way. Like there is no one way, right? There's like the way that it's supposed to go, and then there's the way that it does go, right? So you have an investigation, you gather up all the information, and then you don't let all that information out because you got to try a case. And you don't want to ruin the case. You don't want to lose the case on a technicality.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to make sure that you don't poison the, potential jury pool, so on and so forth. You don't put too much information out into the public. You don't know, especially if you don't have these people don't even have for the thing that we were talking about earlier, they don't even have a suspect. But for this, they have a suspect. But then fast forward to where we are now. So some Discord messages came out. And not only that, but there were some leaders of countries, particularly that country not to be named, piped up immediately after this young man's demise, trying to solidify the relationship publicly. I don't think we really realize how much money was being pumped through this guy's organization. I don't think we really realized how large of an operation this was. This guy was only 31 years old. Martin Luther King got popped when he was 38. The Kennedys were early 40s, right? Part of the reason why they got popped is like that's a long time for them to be in government and not, you know, and not be able to wrangle them. You know what I mean? So it's very bold to think that maybe these people had something to do with it. It's a crazy thing to say, but then when you really start to break it down, you say, you know, how do they gain to they do actually gain quite a bit by having a relationship with this guy. This guy is the pulse of the conservative youth right now. Yeah. The pulse of the conservative youth. Part of it might even be the reason why numbers are slipping for the country that is not to be named, and the youth, partially they think it's his fault. And because he's starting to kind of wake up to what's been happening and their involvement in our government, it's been making him feel a little bit funny inside. So he's been pushing back a little bit. He did a big event this last summer, Turning Point USA. That's the organization we're talking about, where Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith, I think that's his name, the comedian, and a couple of other people that are not so friendly with that country that we are not to be named, had a couple of very viral moments at Turning Point USA. And then right after that event, Mr. Kirk was summoned to the Hamptons, where there was a intervention of sorts, and he was lightly suggested to chill on the anti-small hat community. Now, do I think
the ministry of love?
Now, do I think that, you know, Benjamin Netanyahu himself went and did the boom, pop, bang, pow, 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 pow? No, I don't think so. But I mean, if he had resources and he could say, I don't know, get in the ear of this guy on some MK Ultra and go Shazam, and the guy goes and grabs his 30-06 and marches himself to the spot and bang, does his thing. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. So anyways, Blumenthal. Let's go quickly through this article really quick. Max Blumenthal, a Trump insider of a longtime friend, Charlie Kirk, tells the Gray Zone how the conservative leader turning point on Israeli influence provoked a private backlash from Netanyahu's allies, and that left him angry and afraid. The source said anxiety spread within the Trump administration after an apparent Israeli spying operation was uncovered. Oh yeah, by the way, last time Benjamin Netanyahu was here in the United States, they found Israeli tracking devices on the White House's emergency vehicles. The White House's emergency vehicle. That's an interesting thing for you to put a tracking device on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. So this is what I was talking about. Charlie Kirk rejected an offer earlier this year from an Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to arrange a massive new infusion of Zionist money into his Turning Point USA, TPUSA organization, America's largest conservative youth association, according to a longtime friend and of the slain commentator speaking on condition of anonymity. The source told Gray Zone that the late pro-Trump influencer believed that Netanyahu was trying to cow him into silence as he began to publicly question Israel's overwhelming influence in Washington and demanded more space to criticize it. Interesting. In the weeks leading up to his September 10th assassination, Kirk had come to loathe the Israeli leader, regarding him as a bully. The source said Kirk was disgusted by what he witnessed inside the Trump administration, where Netanyahu sought to personally dictate the president's personnel decisions and weaponized Israeli assets like billionaire donor Miriam Adelson to keep the White House firmly under its thumb. Broken Blade, are your alarm bells going off?
Oh, yeah.
My alarm bells are going off. Something about this don't smell right. It smells kind of funky. Smells like a wet turd. You know what I'm saying? Wet turd. According to Kirk's friend, who also enjoyed access to President Donald Trump and his inner circle, Kirk strongly warned Trump last June against Iran on Israel's behalf. Charlie was the only person who did that, they said, recalling how Trump barked at him in response and angrily shut down the conversation. The source believes that the incident confirmed in Kirk's mind that the president of the United States had fallen under the control of the malign foreign power and was leading his own country into a series of disastrous conflicts. Now, here's look, a lot of us don't understand or don't know much about Turning Point USA. I had to do a little bit, but this is actually really good for those of you that are listening to just go. And you know what? Here's what I also am going to do. I'm going to take this article and I'm going to throw this in the chat for anyone to look at if they ever wanted to check it out. There you go. Kirk was 18 years old when he launched Turning Point USA in 2012. From its inception, his career was propelled by Zionist donors who showered his young organization with the money through neoconservative outfits like the David Horowitz Freedom Center. Interesting. He repaid his wealthy backers over years by unleashing a relentless fire hose of anti-Palestinian and Islamophobic diatribes, accepting propaganda trips to Israel and sternly shutting down nationalist forces challenging his support of Israel during TPUSA events. In the Trump era, few American Gentiles had proven more valuable to self-proclaimed state than Charlie Kirk. Did you know that, Broken Blade? This guy has done more for the youth than anybody else as far as bringing these Republicans. And look, the youth is what carried Trump to the White House, right? A lot can be said about how much this man had to do with the election of Donald Trump. And you say, "Oh, I was living 2 states when I was still blamed for something." Man, ain't that the truth? But Israel's genocidal assault on the besieged Gaza Strip drove an unprecedented backlash within grassroots right-wing circles, where only 24% of younger Republicans now sympathize with Israel over the Palestinians. Kirk began to shift. Only 24%. That's a little bitty number. That means 75% go the other way. At times, he towed the Israeli line, spreading disinformation about babies being beheaded by Hamas on October 7th and denying the famine imposed by the population, imposed on the population of Gaza. Yet he simultaneously seceded to his base, wondering aloud if Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli intelligence asset, questioning whether the Israeli government allowed the October 7th attacks to proceed in order to advance long-term political goals, and parroting narratives familiar to his most vociferous critic on the right, streamer Nick Fuentes. Now, that sounds crazy, right? A little bit. Like, and follow me on this one. I know that these other people over here are planning an assault. I know about it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the assault go. I can maybe push, promote, and prod it. I might even fund it. because what I'm going to do is I'm going to react. So I'm going to let them do the thing, and then I'm going to react.
That's a classic theory about World War II.
Same strategy, right? What about Vietnam? What about WMD in Iraq? Same strategy.
Same strategy.
Okay. So when Charlie Kirk gets popped, hole punched, there's an overreaction. Guess how many new TPUSA chapters there will be here in the next year? How much fundraising is happening? Someone made note of something earlier. He had almost hit his goal for the amount of chapters at colleges in the United States. Charlie Kirk was. There were a couple thousand chapters short of where he wanted to be, his goal.
Yeah.
They will have tripled his goal by this time next year if this continues. How do you go from top to like beyond top? I don't know. They figured it out.
Water.
They figured it out. Some kind of way they figured it out. This July, at TPUSA Student Action Summit, Kirk provided a forum for the right-wing grassroots to vent its fury about Israel's political hammerlock on the Trump administration. There are speakers from former Fox News stalwarts Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly to the anti-Zionist Jewish comedian Dave Smith denounced Israel's blood-soaked assault on the besieged Gaza Strip, branded Epstein as an Israeli intelligence asset, and openly taunted Zionist billionaires like Bill Ackman for getting away with scams despite having no actual skills. Yikes. Because Ackman's like worth like $9 billion, but he doesn't, like, no one can kind of tell you what he actually does for real. Oh, wait, here's right here. Shout out to Tucker Carlson. Let's hear what they got to say.
Deserve a fair living like everybody else, but if they're getting rewarded for it. The unfairness of it drives you crazy. And it's particularly galling in the case of Jeffrey Epstein and the whole constellation of people around Jeffrey Epstein, all of whom seem to be getting away with scams. And how do you know they're getting away with scams? I'll tell you how, because they're useless and they're rich. So how do you come to a place where some of the least impressive, most useless people who have no actual skills become billionaires? How's that legitimate? And by the way, if you ask this question, at least in Washington, it's like, oh, well, yeah, it sounds like you're a socialist. Sounds like socialism. Yeah, okay, I'm a socialist now. All right. I was a Qatari agent or a bigot. Now I'm a socialist. All right. Leaving aside my committed socialism, can you answer the question? How did Bill Ackman get $9 billion? Bill Ackman, a pretty impressive guy? I know Bill Ackman. No. Bill Ackman's like well-connected and super aggressive. That's it. And I think, well-connected, super aggressive people deserve a fair living like everybody else. But if you're accruing $9 million just because you're willing to do anything, I don't know why we have to pretend that's good.
Shout out to Tucker Carlson for that. I'm with you on that, bro. So, all of that being said, right? All of that being said. So that's bubbling. That's bubbling underneath, right? And then you got and Broken Blade, again, part of the reason why I did it this way, it's what they don't say, right? It's like reading in between the lines on these press conferences. It's in the releases of the information in the media. It's like, that sounds funny. Why would you write it like that? Why would you say it like that? This is weird. This is, like, it's just not quite right. All of it. So Candace has been aggressively going after these guys. Hold on a second. Apologize. syncing all my things here. And so I was wondering if some of the things that I heard during this press conference are the same things that she heard. You know, I'm like, oh, that sounds strange. And right, this guy was already the guy that was like, I hope it was somebody from out of state, from out of, you know, I hope it wasn't one of us. Hope it wasn't one of us. Okay, all right then. So let's let Candace fair use.
And gentlemen, we got him. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah. But I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history.
Closure.
Closure. Broken blade. Isn't that kind of like putting the cart before the horse? We were just talking about that, right? How before they even have all the information, they've already kind of said that something was over.
Let's see here. Keep it pushing.
Nothing to see here.
Says closure. We got him. They already start in that. He starts talking about the messages. He starts filling in the blanks. He said he had it. He put it in a towel. We have messages. It's all over. We found it on Discord. Discord is going to say that's not true. So who made up these messages? When were these messages made up is the question. If Discord's saying they don't exist, this signals to me that these messages were just created, right? And I'm further feeling that way because there's no timestamps. Again, I want to be proven wrong. Okay, but I don't like this at all. And we got him. It's over. And we can turn the page with finality. Would you, if you were an honest governor and you knew that only, again, 4 hours earlier, how long does it take to raid a home? I don't know, is it quick? Is it like a 10-minute thing? It feels like it'd be a long thing to grab the devices. If you knew that you had not even begun going through those devices, how would you say that we can close this chapter?
Sorry, I'm watching this.
Why would you say that we can close the chapter? I would have said, honestly, and he does not, we raided his home and we are looking for more information. We think that there's going to be a lot more information, but we wanted to let you know that we at least have one person that we feel is definitely involved. That's not what he says. It says, over, it's done, wrap it up. We're not going to even tell you about the fact that we just raided this place a couple of hours ago. And the person whose place we raided, who was the one that the family says is super internet, we just kind of released. We're not interested in that. What are we to discern from all of this? I'll tell you my take on this. I think the person in the maroon that's walking is different from the person that's walking up the stairs. It's a gut thing, okay?
Dun, dun, dun. Conspiracy theorists unite, okay?
I don't know, but I know, okay? I don't know, but I know. It makes sense in the timeline of George Zinn, the decoy boy, that we've got other people that are doing different things. And it is, they do not want us to prod the narrative about the person in maroon. It doesn't make sense. They can't tell us. He said he planned this for weeks. So I'm going to assume he planned it for weeks. And he didn't go to campus earlier because he wanted to scope things out. He would have done that. Would have obviously been able to do that already because he's been planning this for a week. He knew where Charlie was speaking, right? Make it make sense. It's very easy to debunk me. Very easy. You should have footage of him in that Dodge Challenger just waiting and salivating. He kept checking. He said, oh, here I am right here, just waiting to get that rifle back. I'm waiting to get that rifle back. Where's the footage? You were on a manhunt. Where is the footage? Surely during a manhunt, you use drones. I feel like we are tech capable enough that during a manhunt, after a murderer of a college student decides to take out Charlie Kirk, who has been a friend of the feds, right? Probably not a good idea to be friends with these people, but whatever. He's been a friend of the feds. Surely this is a big issue. And to put to rest in conspiracies, you're going to show us that drone footage, and we're going to see the Dodge Challenger just sitting there for hours and hours and hours. We're maybe even going to be able to see, because I'm sure at that point, like cops maybe set up some barricades or something to see he was going in and out. And then he decides he's going to leave. Show us the footage.
Show us the footage. I mean, he had to eat, right? Like he was the day before. He was waiting around the day after. There had to be like a Mickey D's or something. You know what I'm saying? That's where they caught the last guy. He was at McDonald's, right? The guy that allegedly shot the dude, the Maggione. What's his name? Maggione?
Luigi
Maggione. Yeah.
Like I said, every inch of that campus is covered. So we should be able to see he's wearing maroon, and you're telling us that he went back to his car and he changed. Show us him leaving campus before he returns back to campus around 11:30. Just show us the footage, okay? I'm demanding it. You know why? Because I need to be able to fit things into my timeline. If that's okay with you. So I would discern that we are looking, just vibe again, 2 different people would be my thing. 2 different people. One of those people is definitely, individuals is definitely being protected. And separately,
you know what might be scarier than a black woman? A black woman that thinks she's a white woman. Oh, I wonder if they know what they've gotten themselves into.
Hockey, this shit is terrifying.
We know what this is about to be. I don't know if they know what this is about to be. Look how serious she's. Very serious. She's very serious. Like she is not really messing around. I don't think. I think she's pretty set on this whole
You
situation.
can
That's
definitely make out that for whatever reason Lance is being protected. No way you release that guy. Okay. There's no way you release that guy immediately. There's no way that you intentionally purge him out of these messages. Okay. The excuse he's being cooperative doesn't work. You can be cooperative while you're still being detained. At least 24 hours before you would say, I felt good to clear him as a suspect, especially when you haven't even raided his home yet. They released him instantly and they said, job done. So I would like more information about Lance Twiggs. Okay. I already don't like that mom receives Bachelor of Science from Stanford University in psychology. It seems to be a running theme in these Fed ops that there's always psychology somewhere in the family. And I want to be very clear.
Ain't that interesting? Always psychology.
I'd be surprised if there's some crazy connection to BlackRock.
I mean, those other two were. The other two were. But I wanted to get to this part right here because this is where I wanted to really get to. Because once again, Broken Blade, the issue is, and I'm not going to keep you guys super long. We're gonna end on this. This is the last clip that I want to talk to, and then we'll close it out. I'm not trying to keep you super duper late. I just wanted to touch on this. Broken Blade, if it would have happened and everything, it kept it pushing, right? I wouldn't. I don't know that I would care that much, right? Yeah. To the community not to be named. We around here sometimes shout out to, I'm not going to say your name, but my guy, we're going to call the people not to be named. We're going to call them Canadians for the sake of this conversation right now. Right. Canadians, Canada, Canadians. Okay. Now, if the Canadians just didn't say shit, didn't do anything, we probably wouldn't be tripping, right? But when Benjamin Netanyahu, before the body's cold, jumps off a ledge and makes like this statement, and is talking about how good of friends they all were, and they went to dinner, and this Bill Ackman guy pops up, and he's like this billionaire that doesn't have any talent, that nobody knows. I mean, that he's not even a public figure for real. He's just known for being a billionaire. When he jumps in and says, me and Charlie were just friends, it's so bad, we're supposed to be doing this thing and blah, blah, blah. When they offer up all this extra information, right? And it's like, case closed, got him, bop, bop, bop. And all these people, you kind of start to tell on yourself a little bit. You start to tell on yourself a little bit.
Yeah, like, it's in our blood.
So
y'all gain wisdom. We know when y'all fucking around. Even our own people.
Right? Shout out to
Brad. Yo, man, where's my wallet? Yeah, see what had happened was
peeing on my head and calling it rain.
Yeah.
Peeing on my head and calling it rain. Well then, you know what? Let me let Candace.
When after Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, a source told me, and I would love to get this confirmed, I'm going to find this out, that $150 million was spent on that, and it came from Bibi Netanyahu.
Whoops.
I would like to figure out if that's true. But anyways, obviously investing in this, and I'm not going to let it go, okay? You're not going to emotionally use some jujitsu, and I'm referring here to Roy or Rob McCoy, who says, I'm Charlie's pastor, and here's the truth, or whatever it is, to look the other way right now, okay? You're not going to tell me that I have to feel too bad to investigate who shot my friend in front of my face. So stop the nonsense. This is what Charlie's pastor passed around to all of the people that were intimidating Charlie leading up to his death. It's funny that Charlie's pastor couldn't find his voice when Bibi Netanyahu was lying about Charlie. Your pastor, what he's saying is our lies. No, he didn't find his voice saying anything about Bibi Netanyahu. Candace investigating things? Yeah, that's got to stop. Here's what he wrote. Okay, what's his name? Rob McCoy. He wrote, Charlie Kirk was my friend and I was his pastor. I want to simply say this regarding Candace Owens. Charlie Kirk was a friend to Candace and never publicly spoke poorly of her, though he disagreed with her. He never operated or entertained gossip or innuendo concerning Candace. My only comment I offer regarding Candace is this. I only wish at this tragic time of mourning, she would be the friend to Charlie Kirk that he was to her. He would never have treated Candace or her family in such a way had, God forbid, this tragedy been hers. A friend loves at all times. And he drops a biblical proverb. Now, let me say this, okay? I hope that Charlie would have been the sort of friend that I'm being. Okay? He would have never. Why? Why wouldn't Charlie Kirk have?
Ain't that something? Your pastor chimes in to talk about the relationship that he may have had with Candace Owens. Huh. That's weird. That's weird. Your pastor can speak. Broken Blade, can your pastor speak on you and I's relationship?
No.
My pastor couldn't speak on you and I's relationship either. He doesn't know. We don't speak about. He doesn't know me like that.
Yeah.
And even if he did, I don't know that we would.
Me and my
Maybe
pastor cool, but unless he ninja watches the podcast, like I've never brought up the podcast to him. So
right. So interesting. So I thought that was for the pastor to pipe up and to have something to say, to write a long tweet, a long X post. I mean, okay.
Investigated if I had been killed and we were being so obviously lied to. I think you're wrong. I think Charlie was a real friend and he would not have dropped it. He would not have let it go. Least of all, because he was being emotionally manipulated by a guy who curiously kept his mouth shut when Bibi lied. You knew, if you were really his close friend and pastor, how he was feeling about Bibi Netanyahu. You knew, if you were his close friend and pastor, exactly the names of everybody who was intimidating him and how poorly they are misrepresenting the things that he believed. So why don't you focus on being more honest as a pastor and giving as much information as you can possibly provide so that we can continue this investigation? If you can't do this, I'm going to have to ask for your silence. Okay? Be quiet. I mean that. Nobody is going to stop me from investigating what happened to Charlie Kirk, because it feels to me, okay, that this is a conspiracy, a federal level conspiracy, which means that there's going to be somebody else, maybe somebody close to Charlie, that could be involved in this, right? And when I am satisfied that there is no conspiracy, I will communicate that. But at the moment, no, I am feeling the exact opposite. I don't trust anybody. There's a lot more information that I wish I could share, but I'm going to tell you guys, it's going to get uglier. And these absolute demons are trying to justify saying you should investigate until the funeral, until the state funeral, until, as I have heard, people are trying to buy their way. Okay. Oh, I've given this much money. I want to say some remarks about Charlie Kirk. Okay. Stop. Okay. Just stop. A real friend would investigate someone's murder and they would not stop until they felt good about the resolution and the answers that they were given. And I'll let you know when that is, Pastor. Okay.
Huh. Broken Blade. Do you think that? Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. She got a lazy eye. Her eyes kind of far apart. Is that what it is? She got like a kind of a froggy thing happening, like a frog, like a frog eyes things.
a lot of space
I
there.
had an ex-girlfriend that had that. Like her eyes were kind of like far apart, so it was a little bit. As long as you didn't look straight on, it was cool. But if you looked at her straight on, it was like a little bit weird. But as long as you were like off to the side a little bit.
Give a three-point view.
Oh, I'm an asshole for that. Oh man, that was the girl that punched me. That was the girl that hit me when I was driving. That was the girl. Yeah, she had her eyes were a little far apart. So that was probably a good thing. But anyway, shout out to Solo Dolo. Yeah, she does have her eyes a little far apart there. The little kind of frog eye thing going on. Anyway, look, when everyone's quickly trying to tell you that there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? No fair, what's not fair? Foul play. Chances are there's probably some foul play. Probably some foul play. Now, obviously, he was assassinated, but Broken Blade. So in this episode, and I'm gonna put this. I'll put this in the chat too. She breaks down the timeline, and she also goes over all of the Discord messages that were released.
Yeah.
Broken Blade. It does not sound like something that a bunch of kids wrote. It doesn't. Like, even if they were like trying to fill in the blanks to make it, it was all think about this for a second. They found the one family member that felt like they needed to comment on the fact that the guy that did the thing had been radicalized all of a sudden. Right. And they use that word radicalized you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Everything is just way too convenient. It's all so clean. It's like, wait a minute, your conspiracies are not really conspiracying right now. Like, it's feeling forced. It's feeling desperate. Desperate it's feeling forced right now. And I think that's why it's like, it's not sitting with everyone, because it's like, well, that doesn't seem right. Right? Like, that one guy that didn't do it conveniently jumped up and was like, it wasn't me, I did it. Making a scene. And then they find Kitty Corn, on his phone. Did you know that?
No, I did. Yeah, that.
And did you know that was the very same guy that said that he was at the Twin Towers and he was a witness at the Twin Towers too? What was that? What did you say, BlackRock?
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how it's almost like they've got a queue. They've got a bunch of people that they can use for either witnesses or flunkies or whatever, right? Like it makes the most sense.
Have one of them rooms that just yarn all over one piece of paper connected to just a fucking web.
I believe so. Because think about it. What and what are we talking about, right? One group of people, the Canadians, right? The Canadians are into, and the whole Epstein thing was about compromise. It was about trafficking and kiddie porn and right? So if you've got an old guy who likes that stuff and you know that he, you're like, hey, look, you can go to jail for this, or you can go act like a crazy person in the front row at this thing over here. Cause I'll take you in on the kitty corn. So he does the thing. Now he might not know what's supposed to happen. All he knows is that he's supposed to go to the front of this place and make a scene when the thing happens. How am I going to know when the thing happens? When the thing happens. When the thing happens and you don't know what it is, but when the thing happens, you jump up and say, I did it. And they're going to take you away. And you didn't do it. We know you didn't do it. But they're going to take you to jail and rough you up a little bit. And then all of a sudden, they'll let you go because you don't have anything. And you will have not done anything. So they'll let you go. Not realizing that, of course, they'll catch him with kitty corn on his phone, on his person, idiot. But again, damn, Jerome said now he's strictly on the Philippines. Man, I mean, y'all are crazy, boy. Y'all are crazy. Man, I really would like. Anyway, we'll talk about women in a minute. Anywho, I think Candace is gonna let this one go. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look. She looks like a pit bull with a steak in her mouth. Look.
What's that Rich Turner drop?
What did he say?
What's the Rich Turner drop?
Rich Turner what? What did he, with a drop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you know what I heard the other day? For the streets. I'm from the streets. I got that money. The streets, from the streets. Get that money from the streets. Yeah. Damn, Jerome said the Filipinas doing them right. Shout out to the Filipinas, I guess. They're the Blasians. They're the black folks of the Asians. I get it. Yeah. Here's what I will say. What my biggest point, I think, for all of this is, guys, don't let these people get you caught up. Don't let these people. They're trying to stoke a fire. Like they're trying to get us to react. Don't react.
Which is kind of to my point, man. Like, be doing something else.
Oh yeah.
Just earlier today, watching Bill Coop video, woman crashing out over a broken car window, going off on everybody.
Who broke the window?
We never figured it out.
Wait,
she went so ballistic, we couldn't get the story out of her. Like, for the sake of argument, she might have been right. She might have had a point, but she couldn't calm down enough to just tell the officer what happened. Just so off the hand that she ended up going to jail.
Yeah.
May have been right. It still took the L.
Yeah. They don't understand process that often. They don't really get right. Like if the cops got you and you're in cuffs, give it up. Just chill. Like there's really not anything that can be done. It's all, if you're in cuffs, it's too late. If the cops are, it's too late. If the cops are there, it is too late. There's no flashing or anger. There's no reason to get yourself into more trouble. There really isn't. But somehow our women don't understand that.
Bringing it around to Miss Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some curious things going on here. She might be right. But you're one woman, you have a lot of eyes on you, but you're one woman essentially going up against the Illuminati.
That's what it is.
Like you might be with a man that has some power, but at that level, nobody is untouchable if you go too far over the line. So again, she might be spot on, but you want to pick your battles. And in the meantime, she might want to. Good luck to you.
I'm not Catholic.
Yeah.
But I'll put that on you. I'll say a prayer for her, sort of. I mean, I'm glad somebody is, because look, because here's it.
Get it out there, but be careful.
For sure, absolutely. I mean, because look, if all things are true, right? That means that these people at least facilitated getting his head knocked off, get him perforated, right? Their fingerprints are all over JFK. Their fingerprints are all over 9/11. Their fingerprints are all over Iraq. Like all over. And so it's hard to think that they can't or won't aren't willing to, aren't feeling desperate enough to punch your ticket too. And so, yeah, I don't think that, shout out to her. Shout out to her. And, to bring this thing full circle, man, let's collectively try not to let these folks whitewash this guy's history. Let's not let these people gaslight us, and I'm using it in the proper way, gaslight us into thinking that this guy was really a good guy and blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm only going to talk about one particular post, right? One particular post that that I commented on. And the reason why I commented is because, again, bro, if they would have just not said anything, this wouldn't be on my radar. These fools are trying to like smash Charlie Kirk into my head, smash Charlie Kirk into my consciousness. They're trying to like make me forget the things that he said. They're trying to make me misremember what this person said, trying to make me act or think like what he said or the things that he stood for weren't actually what he really stood for, right? Like they're really trying to make me feel like the crazy person for being like, I'm pretty sure this guy said that black women aren't intelligent enough to be in the places that they were in, even though he didn't go to college and all the women that he's talking about went to Harvard and Yale and graduated and then went to law school and graduated. But this guy that went to community college and then quit, you're telling me this guy has the right to talk about the intelligence of black women or the intelligence or the likelihood of a qualified black pilot. You want me to think that that person is good. And so all of this pushing on to me, trying to get me to forget the words that came out of this guy's mouth is what's triggering me. It's like you are actually pissing on my head and calling it rain. Had you not said anything, I wouldn't even be talking about this dude. Like I barely know, I know of him because I follow politics, but I'd have zero opinion of this guy. I think he's I don't think he's a good person. I think that he played in the margins. I think that he used semantics, and I think that he took advantage of youthful, misinformed, unintelligent children. And he debated long enough to understand weak points. I think he understood who knew about the Civil Rights Act and knew about some of this stuff, but and knew who didn't know anything, right? He's talking about kids that were born in the 90s, that were in college, right? That are in college now, born in the early mid 90s, 2000s. And then he's talking about something that happened in 1964, 63, 62, 65. When he knew that they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Dishonest at best. So all that being said, it's like this type of thing is the thing that kind of triggered me. Let's listen.
It's been 5 days since the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. And you know what we haven't seen? Businesses being looted, rioting in the streets, cities being burnt down. You know what we have seen, though? People going to church, people praying together, people buying Bibles for the first time in their life.
Is there something on her lip? Bitch, you got herpes. What you talking about?
Vigils happening all across.
I can't take a bitch serious if she got herpes. I'm just saying.
Death threats to HBCUs. Let's not forget that. Lynchings that were being gaslit about. White supremacist marching in the street talking about white man fight.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk was murdered by a white man.
Man, you're getting all the good ones. See, I wrote a tweet to respond to that, and I missed half that stuff you just said. Hold on, we're gonna look at my response here in a second. Let's let her finish.
Actually reaching out and inquiring about how to get involved, how to continue the movement, how to start a turning point chapter.
Having a dog sit in your lap while you dog whistle is diabolical, bro. Having a dog sit in your lap while you dog whistle is next level.
At their high school or their college. All of that to say, we are not the same. It's been 5.
We are not the same.
And we most certainly are not.
We are not the same, Broken
We're walking
Blade.
truth over here.
I said, you're right. One asshole popped by his own versus 350 years of slavery, black code, Jim Crow 2.0. Not the same. That was my response. Not the same. You are right, bitch. You are absolutely correct. We are not the same. This one dude got perforated. You're right. There shouldn't be anybody burning nothing down. It was just one guy. One guy that kind of had it coming. I'm just saying he kind of called it. Did he not call it? He said some people got to die to ensure that we have our Second Amendment rights. Like we're going to have to lose some people. That's what he said out of his own mouth. He also said that empathy was a made up thing. It's not a thing. Empathy is not something. So no empathy, because that's a made up thing. It gets on his nerves that he hates. And look, and he said that some people are going to have to get perforated for us to be able to keep our Second Amendment rights. And now I'm sure he didn't expect it to be him.
Withdrawing empathy for someone that doesn't fit your look or your narrative is sociopathic. Period, point blank.
Boom. Boom and boom. So that's why I'm like, I ain't even tripping, bro. I don't know. What is it? People get shot every day, B. People get shot every day, B. Shout out to Solo Dolo. The propaganda machine is going crazy. Bro, it really, truly is, bro. It really is. I mean, they are hammering this guy, like hammering me with this. And I'm like, why are they trying so hard? But then I realize whom might be behind it. Then the amplitude starts to make sense, right?
And Justin Trudeau.
Very Canadian. Hella Canadian. Shout out to Solo Dolo. Right? Brother, the mother for sure. Like I said, me and Solo Dolo absolutely share brain cells. And he says the Republican plantation Negroes are doing too. Ain't they though? All right, ain't they though? Like these dudes, these bootlicks are a next level. The eye bucking, what was his name? Tatum, Officer Tatum, bucking his eyes and wagging his finger. Brother.
And he got the Django dog trick. He's still trying to cope.
I mean, coon, and I don't even like using that word, but boy, he is cooning it up. Shout out to Solo, absolutely, bro. The Republican plantation, they're making it very difficult. They're making it very difficult, I must say. They really are making it difficult. They really are. What's Brian saying? Take you around in a circle of family. Oh hell. Let's see. Stories. Yeah. That's what it kind of feels like. Like it's hard not to. You can't not see it anymore, right? Am I tripping?
No.
It's like you can't not. It's like, oh, so this is how this works. I can see it now. I see where the propaganda is coming from. Okay, I see. Oh, wow. Okay, I see where the pressure is coming from. I see who's supposed to be saying what now. Oh, you're talking too much. Hey, stop talking. And last but not least, I just want to show this because this was out of his own mouth. This is a quote from X from the Kirkster himself. It says, hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, and all of it's protected under the First Amendment. Keep America free. So, I mean, what are we even having this conversation for? He doesn't even like the hate speech stuff. Like all this reaction is against the way that he would respond, or he would want you to respond, or at least he claims to want to respond. Now, what that really looks like, for real, I mean, who's to say? But he would claim, he would act like, hey, we don't have no empathy, right? George Floyd jokes. Breonna Taylor jokes.
Sure.
Tamir Rice jokes. Years and years. Memes on memes on memes on memes on memes. Degrading Black folks. So, I don't wish nothing on anybody. I'm just saying, it's crazy, B. People get shot every day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you hear about it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's important people, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not somebody you've never heard of. Sometimes it's a 20-year-old, freshman kid, first time out of the house, going to college in his freshman year, wakes up hanging from a tree. Yeah. Oh, geez. Braxton, what did he say? What'd you say? He said those cops who offed Elijah McClain took a picture of the spot where he offed him. Yeah. You're right. Some frail body kid. And then I think the weren't the ambulance in on that too? The ambulance also hit him with some that's, I think, gave him the lethal dose of stuff. That's how because they choked him out or beat him up, and then they messed him up to where he needed to go to the hospital, and then they kind of did him in on the way to the hospital. Kirby denied what happened in Mississippi. That's what I'm saying. He would be like, I'm sure that man put that rope around his neck, climbed up in that tree, and jumped out on his own. That's what he would say. He would say that guy was not intelligent enough not to know that he needed a longer rope. Or maybe he, you know what I mean? Like he would make some kind of a joke. They would make a joke. So, look, if it wasn't for the fact that these people keep trying to hammer this into my head, I would have left this alone. But I'm kind of offended by how much they're trying to make me forget who this guy was. It's giving me 1984 vibes. It's really aggravating me. is what it's really doing. Like the idea that I got to talk about this guy so much. And like I said, push comes to shove. I appreciate the fact that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna get the views on YouTube, whatever, and I'm gonna monetize this bitch. And I'm not even gonna play any music or nothing because I want to get every minute of somebody. I'm gonna eat off this dude's name. You know, in fact, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a show about him every single day for about an hour just to push the numbers up. Not really, but like, you know what I mean? Like, but that's how disgusting this is to me.
Yeah.
If they say, bro, if they would have left Trump alone, he wouldn't have been in there for 47. Bro, if they would have left Trump alone, if Biden would have left him alone, he would have stayed his ass in Florida. He would have stayed there. He would have been like, woof, that 4 years was rough. I'm never going to do that again. Yeah. You know what? Let me just go chill and I'm going to get old and play with my grandkids. But they kept trying to lock him up. They kept trying to put charges on him. They kept insulting him.
His wife, underbridge rule, you ain't no dude letting it slide, bro.
Bro, that, you know what? And you know what I think his wife was like? You know what? Donald. It's kind of like that scene in 300.
Yeah,
he's getting ready to kick him into the hole, and he looks over his shoulder, and she looks at him. She gives him the nod, like, "Yeah, I'm good." Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I think she probably gave Trump one of those, and he was like, "Okay, here we go. We're gonna have to do this again." Because you think that she wants to go
before probably this shit, probably like, fuck it. All this, fuck it. Let's go.
Let's go. You know what, Donald? I was mad at you for you doing it the first time, and I'm glad that it's over, and I would never do it again. But the way that these people are treating you and the way that they're treating us, you know what? Let's get them. So we wouldn't even be having this conversation if it wasn't for all that. Like the Democrats, it's like the biggest, like you grew the 800-pound gorilla. Like you made the 800-pound gorilla. Like you took the 800-pound gorilla and then you sprayed a bunch of what was a rays that made Spider-Man?
Gamma rays.
Or like Hulk, right? Yeah. You took the 800-pound gorilla and then you put gamma rays all over him and expected his ass to just die. And he's like, no, that's not what happened. No, what happened? You turned an 800-pound gorilla into the Incredible Hulk. Well done. Good job.
Still well
right?
Dark Rises.
Yeah. Anyway,
like people, some powers that be throw people into this pit for punishment. Sometimes things crawl out of the pit.
Ooh, ain't that the truth? Sometimes things crawl out of that pit. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, man. Yo, this and look,
ask a question.
And for all the conspiracy theorists out there, here, let me get my fair use on here too, real quick. Hold on, because I want this to be able to. You know what? I'm putting trending on next. Fair use. Okay. This was the last conversation, the last interview. One of the last ones he had before he left this earth.
Oh, boy.
I want you guys to pay attention to something. I want you to pay attention to Ben Shapiro's eyes. I want you to watch his eyes. Ben Shapiro. I want you to watch his eyes and tell me what you guys think. Let's watch.
Charlie, we've pushed back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border, so like maybe we should also ask a question: is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So Ben, some people would accuse Israel of wanting to ethnically cleanse. Some people in the Israeli government are saying, again, it's all over the place, right? You have opinions all over. In your opinion, what would a good outcome 5 years from now be, and how does one respond to the claims of ethnic cleansing? Charlie, we've pushed back against the media on COVID.
Right here.
COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine. on the border. So like maybe we should also ask a question: is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe.
Right there. Right there.
And
right there. What?
This is going to sound callous.
Mm.
But now sitting watching this, one could argue, I'll say, this was 100% Charlie's fault. He had access to these circles. They went for a college dropout specifically for a reason. His job was just to be talking head.
Mm-hmm.
He started getting into critical thinking. Started overreaching. They even gave him a chance to be corrected. Didn't read between the lines. Didn't realize he made a deal with the devil. It's a damn shame.
Definition. Textbook. A week after this, our man Charlie Kirk got perforated through the neck, bust up the spine.
That might be the lesson here also. Gentlemen, not all money is good money.
Not all money is good money. Remember, somebody giving you money, they want something for it. Ladies, somebody's giving you money, they want something for it. Pause. Sorry.
No, fuck that. No pause. All Diddy.
Yeah, all Diddy. Double Diddy. Yeah, I don't know, man. Right? I mean, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, do I think that, somebody went and whispered in once? I bet somebody got the call and it was like frizzle frazzle. And he was like, I must go. Where's Grandpa's 30-06? Shazam!
But they did say, at least last I read, they said do what cooperate, and he wasn't admitted to anything.
And one of the things that has happened a lot of times has been a situation where they say that they lose time. They misremember. They kind of vaguely, and I think that we're like, okay, sure, you didn't remember. But then if like you really dig into this whole MK Ultra thing, you're like, wow, okay, maybe this dude did blank out and was sleepwalking and doing what he needed to do while he was sleepwalking. So anyways, let's see. Was that experience? Oh man, you tripping. Wrong, tripping. Love them. This is crazy. Anyways, anything you want to leave us with, Broken Blade? This is all I wanted to get out. I know we started a little bit late. I wanted to just get this out. Anything that you want to say before we get up out of here?
Oh, nothing more after all of this. Just this looks like an increasing clusterfuck.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like I said, and once again, if it wasn't for, I wouldn't be talking about this. There's other stuff that I really want to talk about. There's other stuff that I really want to hammer down. There's like a whole nother, thing that I want to do. But, they're pushing so hard this direction that I feel like I have to at least be like, put my foot in the ground and be like, hey man, nah, this dude was kind of don't be bringing that over here.
As good as he is, like, oh, but he cheated on his wife. He cheated on his wife. Let's not try to deify this man, even if you did.
Bro, these people were trying to put him in the same bucket with Martin Luther King, dog. Like, really, with a straight face. I'm like, oh, we are again. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna let it go. But this is and again, I guess that's why we have to keep revisiting the historical issues, right? We got to continue to bring up the Fred Hamptons, and we got to continue to bring up, all the other people that happened, that lived at that time, that did stuff during that time. We have to continually bring up the Black codes. We have to continually bring up, Jim Crow and what that stuff really meant, and really educate people for real, because if we don't, like, these people will absolutely positively whitewash history and try to pretend like they didn't do what they did. I think Donald Trump tried to, take some of the that famous picture of the black man with all the whipping scars on his back, like probably the most famous slavery photo on the planet. Broken Blade. Search for slavery photos on the internet. You don't have to do it right now, but I'm just saying, what will happen is you will not find nearly as many images as you think you should.
Yeah.
You won't find nearly as many. There is a large part of American history that images and things have been completely washed away because they're embarrassed of what they did. They really are. So anyway, shout out to Solo Dolo, Mr. 43TX, Jerome, Braxton, all my homeboys, man. Salute to all you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming through and hanging out. Real talk. If you hadn't hit the like button, please hit the like button on the way out. If you haven't done that, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Thanks to the fight the other night, got us up over 1700 almost instantly that night, which is dope. So thank you so much for all of that. I really, truly appreciate that. Me and Broken Blade, we about to be cooking with grease here. We got a lot of things in the fire. Like I said, the bag will be on sale here by the end of the week. It's going to look different though. It'll be black and the graphics are going to look different, but I will show you exactly what that looks like. So those pre-sales will start on Friday. So I'll have that information for you. So if you don't box and you don't have a bag, then I'll have a bag for you. I'll have a bag, an option for you. And the classes will also begin this next week also. And essentially, look, and all I'm doing is a heavy bag class. It's not going to be very footwork heavy. I'm not trying to teach you how to be Floyd Mayweather. I'm just giving you some general instructions so that you can bang on the bag for about 30 to 45 minutes to an hour, get a workout in, get a sweat. And that is my gift to you. That's all. I'm not trying to do more than that. That's it. I'm giving you 10 to 12 rounds of something to do. If you put the headphones on, I licensed some music that is decent. You don't have to listen to it. You could just watch it on mute. The instructions will be up on the screen and you can just box for a few rounds and call it a day. That is my gift to the world. So I'm going to give that to the world. What you do with it is entirely up to you. And then if you need a bag, I got a bag. That's the plan. So anyways, to all you guys, man, thank you guys so much for coming through and hanging out. I really, truly appreciate it. Me and Broken Blade. We'll catch you guys on the next one. We out. Peace.